Heyo, it's me, Harper Savage, and as you can see today, I have a different color glove on, and that's because we're starting another series, and that is Mermay. I'm so excited. This year's prompt list was actually good. So this is what I've decided to do to myself to add on to the challenge is I want to do most of the prompts, if not all of the prompts, in watercolor, because mermaid's water, it goes together, right? So I have a watercolor sketchbook to do it in. It's hard to tell because of the glare, but it says watercolor right there. Now, if you did catch it, it does say 27 sheets in here, meaning I'm 4 pages short. So what I've done to help with that problem is I went ahead and glued watercolor paper on the end sheets in the front and back. This is Canson, and this is, 5 Below, 1616 holdings in the actual book. I accidentally ripped the page away. Page away from the first page, but that's okay. The book is still in here. Also put one in the back. Yes, I know it's crooked and it's smaller than the other one. The other one took up the whole thing, but these were both like loose leaf pieces of watercolor paper I had out already. I need you to focus. If you know how to count, that means we're still 2 pages short, right? So I've decided, get out of the frame, thank you, that I'm going to be using the front and back cover as 2 pages for Mermaid's prompt list. I don't know how the paper works or anything. We don't have enough room in here to do a test page like I usually do, so we're just going to YOLO. Before we get into me trying to draw on this cover here, I want to say that today's prompt is mirror. I just put marks on the sketchbook, it's fine. But I did actually do some testing like before I even started recording to see if I could draw on the cover with pencil. Turns out I can't. I drew on the spine here and you can, well, actually the camera's picking it up pretty nice, but I can't see that very well in real life and I'm sure it won't erase well either. But I don't have any faith in myself to use paint markers for my sketching because then I won't be able to erase it, and I want to keep the blue background as part of the design here. So I'm going to come up with a plan here to help get a design onto the cover. And that plan is actually kind of somewhat related to scrapbooking. I'm going to draw on another piece of paper here. This is Canson watercolor paper. I marked out the area of which I can draw in, and I'm going to draw some of the elements on watercolor paper so I can watercolor it, because I decided that I wanted to do watercolor for the prompts this year. And then I'm going to cut the design out and put it on the cover. So it'll be ever so slightly a 3D effect without being bulky. So I got my sketchbooks, I got my pencil, and I got a giant eraser because I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. Let's get into sketching mirror. So I've decided I'm going to be using my chrome markers here to make a mirror-like surface. I'm going to make it into a circle, but I want to color in the circle first so it has time to dry. So the mirror part is actually going to be directly on the sketchbook. Does this look like it's center? Like I can barely see a circle, but it doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to be covering up the edges, I think. We're not going to talk about how I'm bad at using compasses, okay? We don't need to bring that up. All right, I hope it's center because we're going in. I can barely see the line. It's fine. Whoa, that looks awesome on camera. It looks like nothing like that at my angle here. This is about what it looks like at my angle. All right, so I gotta color this in. Meet you back here in 10 years. While that's drying, let's get started on the sketching. I think I'll turn it like this. I know I have the corners rounded off, but hopefully that's not going to matter. I drew another circle in here for reference to where the mirror part is going to be. Okay, I drew some wigglies. Going for like seaweed here. Now we got to incorporate the mermaid. The whole name of the thingy. I'm trying to decide on a pose. I don't know if I want their tail to be going down and flicking back up, or want their tail to be curving with the circle we made. I'm realizing now how small this sketchbook actually is. Making me a little nervous. Erase, 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 erase. Wow, this eraser actually works pretty good on this paper. Don't get used to it, because not all the papers can. Just remember that, Harper. Remember. Alright, I might be a little more quiet because I haven't drawn like people-ish figures in a while. And I really don't know how I'm gonna watercolor this now. I don't know if I like this idea anymore. Erase, 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 erase. What if we start over here instead? Basically, I erased all the seaweed. Oh no. I don't want to have too many like chunks being by themselves because I have to cut around everything. Put the seaweed back in. I basically got rid of all of it. Not me casually hiding the hand just because I don't want to deal with it for the first prompt here. It's a very like determined looking face, not the soft face I was imagining. Okay, I think we're done with sketching. Let's move on to the inking. I'm going to be going in with my microns because they are water resistant. So the safest option. So for today, I will be using my Artistro watercolor set. But it looks like I do have a somewhat review on my channel if you want to check that out. So let's get to painting. that it's dry, I want to go in with some Chameleon watercolors. It is another 16 holdings. Here's the palette. I think I'm gonna do this pink color just to add some extra to it. Look at it. Ooh, I love it. I feel like I should add some more. More gonna be too much? What if we add it to the skin to kind of balance out a little bit here? Do the pearl color up here. All right, once this is dry, I'm gonna go in with colored pencils, do shadows, because I'm realizing I'm not very good at small areas with watercolor. So I'll see you then. Alright, I have it all outlined. I'm gonna cut it out now. And I'll save you from having to watch that. Ready? Boop. There we go. Now all that's left is to put it on the book. So let me prepare this with some glue. and we'll smack it on there. Alright, mind you, I will probably lay this under something heavy just to make sure it stays down for real, for real. But it is now time for the reveal. Oop! Look at it. I like how it's like sort of 3D, but also still flat enough to go on a bookshelf. I love the sparklies I put on it. And it is slightly mirrored. It's not like super duper mirrored, and it is streaky because that's just how that marker works. But here we have it. Our first prompt is mirror. I might put it somewhere on here. I'm not sold on that just yet. I might put Mermay on the spine though in the year. I don't know if I want to do that now or like after I'm done, because I'm going to be like touching the spine a lot and it's going to get like a lot of wear and tear. I'm pretty happy with it. I do like the route I went. I wish I didn't use colored pencil just because it gave it a bit more texture. I don't hate that look. It's just, I'm really trying to do more watercolor stuff, but I have a feeling I'm still going to be using colored pencils and paint markers where I can, because I'm not actually that great at watercolors. I've been doing it for a couple years, but I like never did anything serious with it like people. It's always been like textured backgrounds and stuff, because that's what I really like doing, is the different color backgrounds like melting together. But that is going to be it for me today. If you guys want to see another challenge, I recommend my Inktober videos here. If you want to catch up on anything you missed, you can go ahead and tap the thumbnail here. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to do all the cool YouTube-y things, like comment, liking, and subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!